WBN.
With a primary election coming up in April, new legislative maps top of mind for lawmakers in Madison. Now that conservatives and liberals have submitted their proposals for new maps, it's up to the state Supreme Court to decide on what fair looks like. CBS 58's Emilee Fannon, WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross discussed that and more in tonight's Capital Connection.
We begin this week's show with the much anticipated analysis of our legislative maps. We found out that two consultants did a review of 6 of the proposals that are before the state Supreme Court, and this is what they found out. Of the 2 maps that were submitted by conservatives, they called them partisan gerrymanders. Meanwhile, the 4 other maps submitted by Democrats met certain criteria. But in the end, JR, what this means is that there wasn't really a declared winner, but there was some losers in this review.
So in talking to insiders around the Capitol for weeks, they were waiting for this report to give them direction. What's the map going to look like? They wanted clarity. Lawmakers want to know, what's my district going to look like? And they hope these consultants would have say, this is the best map. They didn't do that. So what they did say, though, was, here are the 2 we don't like. One from Republican lawmakers. Remember, this whole case is about non-contiguous territory, basically municipal islands and districts that don't touch other parts of the district. The court ruled it's unconstitutional. Republican lawmakers addressed that, but didn't make any changes. Now, conservative voters represented by Wisconsinists for Law and Liberty, they tweaked the map, all right? And on many criteria the court is often used for redistricting, from compactness, communities of interest, it did very well. The consultants, though, said, look, it still keeps a Republican majority in place pretty much, not no matter what, but you have to do very, very well, top pick as a Democrat, to win both houses. It's a stealth gerrymander, they said. So the 4 other maps from Governor Evers, Senate Democrats, the Democratic voters who sued to challenge the maps, and a group of professors, they're basically indistinguishable, the consultants found, when it comes to these various criteria. They all have basically political neutrality. Now, Republicans are incensed by this report because to them, this case was never supposed to be about a partisan gerrymander. So it's supposed to be this contiguous territory issue, but all the attention now is about which map has the most fairness to it when it comes to who can win the legislature. They're not happy about that. So what happens next? The parties in the case have until next week to file a response to say, hey, basically they're going to say, we think our map is best because you pay attention to the criteria that we did the best upon, right? That's going to be their argument. Republicans are going to complain that you guys are missing the boat here. But then what happens? The court has several options. They could just pick a map. They could ask the consultants, like, look, you can take this map and improve upon it, or a couple of maps and draw something different. People I talk to don't expect the court to say, hey, consultants, draw a map from scratch. But which maps are going to be? The clear winner, though, is going to be Democrats. They're talking about a legislature right now with a 20-11 majority in the Senate for Republicans, 64-35 in the Assembly. We're talking about an opportunity, not a guarantee, but an opportunity, when this is all said and done, to win both houses in the right environment. What's that mean? Well, top of the ticket does very well. But beyond that, you have to have candidate quality, money, message. So there's no guarantee either way that Democrats are going to win both houses this fall, even with a new map.
And you make a good point there, JR, that it's not by any means that Democrats would take control of the state legislature, but for them, it's all about making some of those legislative districts just a little bit more competitive so they can have a chance to pick up more seats. And looking ahead to next week, we're going to get a little taste of a potential matchup between former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden, as we're going to have a new Marquette University Law School poll released on Wednesday. And just so you know, it's just a glimpse, but it will kind of, we'll see where voters are at right now.
Just a poll snapshot in time, but what I'm watching for are the trends. Go back and look last year where Biden's numbers were, the unease about the economy. Do people feel better about what's happening? We have avoided a recession so far. Lots of good numbers out there, like last week with the jobs number for last month. But does that translate how people feel about things? And then 2, how are Trump, Biden doing? Let's not dismiss Nikki Haley at this point. Still has a chance, but it's looking more like Biden v. Trump part 2. Where's the trend going? And is there room for Joe Biden to recover from where he was last year in those polls?
All right, that will do it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us.